So here is the cat from my 93 F-250, and you can hear it here. It doesn't quite sound too good. Basically, this thing was completely plugged up. It's loose in there. There's parts flying, there's pieces of that crap in there just everywhere. This was completely blocking exhaust flow. I had basically no, the engine was totally choking. This was what was wrong with my truck the whole time. So this is, I guess, the reason why the previous owner sold it. So multiple owners have gone through this thing with not being able to figure out what was wrong with it. I took it to a shop. They fixed some other things, but they did not find this. Basically, I found this by kind of going through everything else, eliminating everything else as a possibility, and eventually I found that it was an exhaust clog causing all the issues, causing exhaust back pressure, and basically the symptoms I was having of this was just total lack of power. The truck was topping out at 65 on flat level ground, and that was just giving it everything it had. And if you would floor it, it just wouldn't even build RPMs at all. It would just totally sputter out, and it would make this once you really got on the gas, it would make this horrible like whistling sound, like a high pressure water leak or something. And I guess what that sound was air blowing out this gasket here on the flange. So that was the only way that the exhaust gas could even get out of there, was just blowing out this gasket. So yeah, it was very bad all around. And I would definitely, if this truck is over 30 years old now, if you've got a 30-year-old cat on your car or truck, I would definitely recommend at the very minimum, taking that thing down and, inspecting it. Depending on if you're in an emissions state area or not, your options may vary there as far as replacement. But how I ended up replacing this is you can get a flange on eBay for $25 that goes into a 3-inch pipe. So you just get that, slap it on there, and then you can use 3-inch exhaust pipe, whatever. If you're going to put in a replacement cat, you can just get an aftermarket one, or a Ford one that's from a 3-inch pipe. Because this specific one with this flange, it limits you to some very strange options that I wouldn't recommend buying a replacement one with the flange built in like this. It's just a strange way to do it. It's not standard. So I think you're best off replacing the flange, getting the adapter to a 3-inch pipe, and then going from there, building a nice system from that's standardized, that you can use good quality parts. And then on the other end, if you're going to use the factory muffler, which I did end up using, that muffler, I believe it's a 2.5 inch. So that was not good. That was kind of an unwelcome surprise to me, because I just assumed it was going to be 3-inch. So yeah, you're going to need some sort of adapter there, or what would be better would just be to pull it out and put in an aftermarket one, like on a 3-inch system, so you're consistent. But yeah, so now with this off, the truck is back to full performance. It's running great, and that's a very cheap fix. You really have nothing to gain by leaving these old pieces of junk on there. When there's there's new aftermarket parts that are not that expensive. You know, it's a couple $100. It's not terrible to get these off. You know, I didn't. My truck isn't super rusty, but I was able to get three of these. Three of these. The nuts off these studs. The fourth one I had to cut with an angle grinder, but it wasn't bad at all. And yeah, so I hope that helps you. It's a kind of a difficult problem to figure out when you have it, but again, the symptoms are going to be low power. It just can't build any RPMs. It seemed like it idled fine, but once you gave it any gas, it just totally fell over. And then that whistling sound when you really get on the gas, which is, you know, that air has to get out somewhere. It's at such high pressure that it's just going to blow out through a gasket or through, you know, any tiny hole you have in your exhaust system, anything like that. It could even back up into the engine bay. And, you know, I went through, you know, the previous owner couldn't figure out. He thought it was a transmission issue, which I guess it's not, which is good. Transmission's fine. And then the shop went through it and they couldn't find it either. In their defense, they found other stuff. So I think they were kind of doing the same thing I did, which was just go down the list of common things why I wouldn't have any power before they, just started ripping the exhaust up. So they probably would have found it if I had given them the chance to, fix everything before that. But instead, I just opted to do it myself and save, $3,000 or $4,000, which is about what they quoted me for the repairs this truck needed, which it did need. All the stuff they found, it definitely needed it, but this was the main thing right here. That was the issue. So it totally solid in there, no airflow, and I would bet many of these old cats on old cars and trucks are the exact same way. So thanks for watching. I hope that helps you.